Good morning. I'm David McGard. This is Property Value. Let's talk some real estate here with Kristen Along. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much, just waking up, going to work, going to school, getting it all done, and then repeating it the next day.
Welcome to adulthood. All right, so what's going on at 2?
Well, let's see. So the first article I got over here is talking about...
No, but what's going on at 2?
At 2? Oh, with the feds going to be talking about the mortgage rates that they're going to be doing with the bank and how that's going to be all working.
Well, they're going to tell what's their feeling. They're going to give... Mm-hmm. It's great, man. It's not great, but it's like they just go on and say what they're feeling that they're going to do, mm-hmm. and that affects the market.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even have to do anything. They can just give that reaction of, oh, they might be going up 25 pips. Oh, they might not be. Mm-hmm. And then the market reacts. Well, whatever. We'll see what happens at 2.
We'll definitely talk about it tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that, viewers, because we will 100% be speaking about it and giving our thoughts on it when we see what the Feds say today at 2.
All right, what do you got? Your first article.
First article is coming by the Herald, and it's talking about stagnant mall Sunset Place loses another tenant at this South Miami food hall closes. So let's go ahead and talk about this. So Yumbrella, which opened in the spring of 2019 with a half dozen local restaurants, including one by the popular Miami chef Adrian Calvo, she makes really good food, will close January 30th, its owner wrote on Instagram. Founder Steve Simon, who also ran the restaurant Killer Melts at the food hall, blamed in part a stagnant mall with no traffic. Too many obstacles have drowned us out. Between the labor crisis, increased wages, astronomical rise in cost of food, goods, operational costs, rent, and a stagnant mall with no traffic, this latest wave of COVID, there were too many obstacles for our mom and pop places to survive. Simon, who owned the Killer Melts in Condo, opened the 6,500 square foot food hall along in the Sunset Drive entrance to the mall. The first wave of restaurants concepts were popular suburban places with local following Dr. Limon Peruvian restaurant, Simon's own sandwich spot, and Calvo's cracked fried chicken.
So you're talking about, what is this? You're talking about the mall, right?
Yeah. So this is
the mall at Sunset you were telling me about.
Yes, this is over in Sunset Mall. It's
I think a couple of brokers bought this, by the way. But anyways, they were trying to reposition it, and
so they were trying to bring in some new life
Whole
to it.
Foods and the old Wendy's and
so there's a Three Chefs and a Chicken right next to it, and inside it is actually AMC and GameWorks. They used to be called Game Time, but now they're called GameWorks. And as well, there's a couple of like macaron bakeries there. But it's true what they say.
It's really positioned to go off the off street, mm-hmm. and not off of US 1.
No, it's actually really close to the apartment, the apartment student housing for UM. Sorry,
it's across the street from Publix, right? Or Whole Foods.
Yeah, I believe there's one near. And down the street, and Matheson Park is right nearby it as well, which is where I go. I hang out there. I believe there's also another Adrian restaurant in that park. But the point is, what they're saying is that it's really stagnant and there's no traffic. Is true, because when I go there to the mall. When I go to the mall, I go to the AMC theater that's over there, because they have.
This is the place like open concept, right? It's 2 stories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And there's barely anyone. And keep in mind, I go Friday night, like where you expect it to be filled to the brim
But why would you expect it to be filled?
because it's a
Why would
it's a
you go
mall
there?
on Friday.
Yeah, but so what's driving it?
The two main anchors are the movie theater and the
Which
GameWorks.
which no one's been going to the movies for a long, long time. I mean, people are starting to go back,
Mhm.
but even like nobody knows what's the future of movie theaters, right? Everyone
Right.
kind of speculates. TVs are so good at home now, and everyone has a large
Mhm.
screen, and you know what I mean. It's way more comfortable to stay home. I mean, we still like to go to the movies for
Right.
certain big,
But I'm talking
blockbusters,
about
right?
even before COVID. I'm like, even when I went before COVID, there still wasn't that many people that went there. And it's kind of weird because Sunset Mall is not like it's not like it's not in a very good spot. It's in a corner location. It's a lot of residents around it. If you go down the street, it's just strip mall. Like not a strip mall. It's like there's a whole bunch of little shops that you go down in. Kind of think of like a Miracle Mile-esque kind of thing.
Yeah.
But even before that, it was just still not that many people, which is kind of interesting to me more than anything. Because if you would expect this really, really good location for Sunset Mall to be in, as well as having the theater, the one of like the 3 arcades that are left in South Florida, right? That one in like Arcade Odyssey.
They need to demo that building.
You know, I
All the
wouldn't be too
residents
opposed
there
to
go
it.
to Merrick Park.
Where?
Merrick Park.
Merritt Park. I wouldn't. I would like to see something if they do something kind of like Dayland in a sense, like with that.
With Dadeland.
Yeah, like Dayland Mall, like where they kind of just like you say, demo it, but make it like really modern, like modernize it in a sense, like make it like brand new, and bring in like all these
They need to
super
build
luxury.
multifamily right there and be done with that.
You think so?
Yeah. Man. You think what you're just saying? It's like it's never done well.
Yeah. Well, I think in the 90s and the 80s it did really good.
Yeah, so did
In
Miami.
the early 2000s.
So did Miami Vice.
Hey, I love Miami Vice.
What else did it say? Did it say what they're gonna do with it or anything?
No, this is just talking about that.
How bad it is?
Yeah, they're leaving. That they got a mortgage, they got a loan, forgiveness loan from the federal government.
So that's based on a restaurant. That's what it's talking about.
It's not just one restaurant. It's
Multiple.
It's multiple restaurants under one thing called the umbrella.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's sad when you see buildings, but it's an opportunity for an investor to come in and really, do it up. But I mean, that's what these guys tried to do, and I guess it's not working. Let me see the picture. Yeah, it's across the street from Whole Foods, and the old Wendy's is right there. Max Cycle's right down the road. It's positioned wrong because it's that opening opens to the side street. It doesn't open to US 1.
No, the
back is to US 1.
Yeah,
it's got terrible exposure for retail. It's terrible.
It's really I would say the first the first time that I drove there.
There's a gym in there too.
Say yes or no because I really don't know.
I believe so, but that's another thing that's taking a hit was gyms. So
yeah,
you got movie theaters taking a hit, restaurants taking a hit, gyms taking a hit. Why are you going to go there? You're not, and that's what you see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I want to talk about industrial products. I brought up a national thing, Capital Trends US Industrial 2021, even though we're in 2022 now. So just looking back for a second, year-over-year price change, almost 30%, $166 billion of transaction volumes in 2021. That was up 56% year-over-year volume change. It says the industrial property market is on a tear with a record high pace of sales in 2021 alongside the fastest pace of price growth seen over time. Nearly every subtype, deal structure, and geographic. Why can I say that? Geographic split posted high double-digit rates of growth in sales for 2021. Investors are chasing income growth opportunities as consumer activity is satisfied more through clicks and supply chains readjust. Who knew that a tilt-up concrete walls on slab could be enticing to investors? In the past, the sector was not exciting, with stable income and cap rates providing little upside or capital growth. That stability itself has become attractive through in a time when investors are starved for yield. Industrial investment represented 13% of commercial property investment from 05 to 2016. That share began to creep up in 2017, and stood at a 21% share of the market in 2021. So it went from 13 to 21%. The sector is firmly in the second slot behind apartments for this share of total deal activity in 2021. The growth in asset sales from 2021 was not a function of one-off events tied to portfolio or entity-level transactions either. Individual asset sales rose 70% in 2021. I just want to cruise through real quick and see. It says, in line with industrial property prices hitting a record high level, cap rates are compressing to record lows. Warehouse cap rates hit the 5.3 level in Q4 21, 40 bips lower than a year earlier. Flex cap rates did nudge up slightly from year-end 2020, but at 6.2, this measure is still lower than the lows seen for flex assets ahead of global financial crisis. Industrial cap rates are trending lower than CBD office cap rates at a time when inflationary pressures are helping to nudge the 10-year UST up from record lows. This combination raises the question, can these cap rates stay at such low levels in this environment? In the truth, industrial cap rates could even fall more. The key word to focus on is that sentence is could. Let's see, top markets. The top market was Los Angeles, climbing by one spot. Los Angeles was the top performing industrial market for 2021. Most active market momentum. Top players. Let's see the top players for the nation. Let's see, does it have the top? No, it just has it built down in regions. Top player for Southeast was BR REIT. Blackstone for a second. GIC, Ares Management, Maple Tree Investment, top sellers. Blackstone was second as well. EX2, Exeter Property Group, was a top seller nationwide. All right, so that was national. Let's see what's going on in Miami-Dade. So very robust nationally. I'm going to imagine that Miami-Dade is going to follow with those numbers. We weren't on the top markets list, but industrial is crazy here. We have 239 million square feet of industrial space. It's up 1.5 year over year. Under construction, close to 5 million square feet under construction. That's up 12.5% year over year. So we are bringing the supply. 12-month net absorption square foot, 6.8 million year over year. That's 85% up from 2020. Vacancy rate at 2.9%. That's why we're building. Market rent at almost $15 is market rent.
Wow.
I'm assuming, since this is CoStar that I'm looking at, that that's industrial gross. So you take off, $350 for expenses, and you're down to around $11 triple net. And this is across all classes in Miami-Dade. So market sale price, $198 a square foot. That's up 19% year over year. 19% market sale price year over year. Real quick side note, I was talking to Alston, who is Ralph Pena's assistant, and our colleague. He was telling me about he rents for $1,600. He has a one-bedroom apartment, $1,600 in Davie, Florida, which is in Broward County. And his landlord just came to him and told him that his rent is going to go up to $1,900. It's a $300 jump. And he needs to tell them if he's going to stay within 30 days, I believe. If he's going to leave, he needs to give a 60-day, pre-explanation why, that he's leaving. And then if he doesn't tell them that he's going to stay in 30 days and it's longer than that, but then he wants to stay, there's an option that his rent will not only be $1,900, but it could be $2,000, $2,100. So if it just jumps to $1,900, that's $300. And 12 months,
Mm-hmm.
that's 19% increase.
Yeah.
19% rental increase in Davie, Florida, which is not a hot spot. Davie, Florida is actually known as an equestrian area. And 19%. So, and you can see it. Then you look at that was apartments that was bringing that up. But if you look here too, here's the market rate for industrial,
and it's up 15.
15, almost 16%. So it's right there. It's right there chasing multifamily down here in Miami-Dade. So the market cap rate, it's at 5.4%. It's compressing, just like the national survey said from Ready Capital. No, that wasn't Ready Capital. That was RCA, Real Capital Analytics. Sorry about that. I mentioned Ralph's old. So I want to see who the players are in Miami-Dade. It says top buyers, Centerpoint Properties. Bring that up real quick. Centerpoint Properties, Duke Realty Corporation, bringing in number 2, Blackstone Group, number 3, Brookfield Asset Management, number 3, Deutsche Bank, number 5. Top sellers, Flagler Real Estate Services. Number 2 is Prudential Financial. Kofi Properties, number 3, CPF Investment Group, number 4, and Bridge Industrial, number 5. Top brokers.
I think in the national level, Blackstone was 3rd place as well.
2.
Oh, it was 2nd place.
Top buyer, top seller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Top brokers in South Florida, Vivo Real Estate Group, number 1 for buying on the buy side. Avison Young, number 3, and Casal Group, number Avison Young, number 2, at Casal Group, number 3. Where is Colliers? That's what I got to say. That's who we are. That's who we represent. We represent the valuation side here in Miami and South Florida, but we always like to root for our brothers and sisters who represent the brokerage side of it, the selling transactions. The high sellers for industrial in South Florida, CBRE, number 1, JLL, number 2, Cushman, number 3. Look at that. Asset value by owner type, and it's the private people who are, that's awesome, that the private sector still has the majority. Well, they're the top owners. They're also the top sellers. Sales by volume, net buying. Anyhow, you get the drift. It's just robust. 19% market sale price year over year. Increase market rent at 16%. What do you think about that?
I think it's just really hot. My mom's working on my mom is, she has a friend that was trying to rent out her warehouse right now. And I told her, I'm like, absolutely do it, because I was telling her to listen to us right here at Property Value, because we talk about these numbers. And I was telling her, I was like, take a listen, because the industrial industry is doing extremely well in Miami-Dade County, extremely well. And you can see it right here. We are at 85% absorption, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
85% absorption. Yeah,
absorption rate. And we went up 16% in price per square foot. That's if you're on the side that you're trying to lease out your warehouse, you are very happy right now, because you're gonna get a lot of revenue for what you probably bought it at originally.
It takes away the numbers. You see that?
Yeah.
It takes away the numbers when I increase it and decrease it. But yeah, man, we're up. Rents up. How big? Do you know how big her warehouse is, or do you know what it is? What kind of warehouse is it?
I know it's just it's not like a cold storage or anything like that. But I will talk to her about it. I can bring it up tomorrow in the podcast, and we can go a little bit more in depth. But because I don't really know like the square footage or things like that. It was
your
just
mom's gonna rent it out for her.
Yeah, because it was just something that I talked to her before I had to do some homework and inevitably passed out. But I'll bring it up tomorrow on the podcast, so that way the listeners can get a better idea of what's going on in that particular.
Yeah, she should do it for sure. It's empty right now.
Mm-hmm. I believe so. I believe they're going to put it up in the MLS not too long. So next article I got over here, I think is pretty interesting. Is from one of the people that you used to work with, and it's Brightline breaks ground on station in Boca Raton. So let's go ahead and read this. It's coming in from the South Florida Business
Explain what
Journal.
Brightline is, though. Like people might
Oh,
not know
okay.
what it is.
So Brightline they are a high speed train. They're a high speed train service. They got a whole bunch of the old railroad tracks and then redid them in order for a high speed train to connect between Miami, West Palm Beach, and Fort Lauderdale. And now they're heading over into.
Well, it's Miami to Orlando.
Yeah, and I would love to see them go international. Not international. I'm sorry. Intercontinental. Because if they can get like from Miami to Maine, that would be amazing.
Well, there is a train that goes there.
Not public, I believe.
What are you talking about? Of course there is.
You
can take a train up to New York.
You can?
Yes.
I didn't know that. But point is that they're going into now Boca Raton and they're going to connect it over to Aventura. And that's what I was going to get in now. Elected officials, tourism advocates, and executives from the passive train service Brightline celebrated the start of a construction on a future station in downtown Boca Raton on Tuesday morning. The project is expected to create around 400 brand new construction jobs. Patrick Goddard, the president of Miami Baseline, told the Business Journal. He added that the future 38,000 square foot station at 101 Northwest 4th Street and a separate station 40 miles to the south, so it's going to be two, is going to be in Miami-Dade west of Aventura. Should be finished by the third or fourth quarter of this year. Goddard said that Brightline expects to have additional stations operating in or near Aventura at Orlando and Orlando International Airport by 2024. Currently, the passenger train runs between Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach, like I was saying. This is just another opportunity to demonstrate the potential for high-speed trains in the United States, Goddard said, and that they are very excited in order to be working into Boca Raton and being able to show the public how positive this can be. To help make the deal to happen, the city granted Brightline 1.8 acres of publicly owned land free of charge and kicked in $8.4 million toward the construction of a 455 space garage, which Brightline started building this past December. That will serve both the station and a nearby downtown library. Brightline themselves committed paying around $30 million to the fund of the construction of the station. Boca Raton officials will also kick in $16.3 million infrastructure grant that the city would receive in federal government. Brightline is going to be a game changer for Boca Raton. So many residents and businesses are excited, and we are going to be connected to major transportation networks. Our residents are going to have a chance to travel to Brightline to Miami, Orlando, and our businesses and restaurants, museums, and shops are going to be attracted towards along the line. Brightline stated that the workers will be able to gain access to additional 89,000 office jobs with an average commuter times. So I think that's just fantastic. Nothing really to say less other than that. I'm a huge advocate of these high-speed trains coming in. When I went to France not too long ago, like the past year, and my mom and I, we were taking just the trains everywhere, and you really get a sense of you can live out in the countryside in the middle of nowhere. As long as you have a train station, you can go into the city and you can get your work done.
Yeah, that's how New York is. The same way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's the idea of Brightline, is to be able to. I mean, it's expensive though to travel on the Brightline. It's not like, but I mean, they make it sound that you just jump on the Brightline and
no, but it's not
to Palm Beach, or you could live anywhere. Or like,
I would like to see it. I believe you're right on that. I like to see it just a little bit more affordable, because it's not like you can pay the 25 month.
The thing about Brightline is it's a private company.
Yeah,
and I mean, so Richard Bronson from Atlantic, isn't it called Atlantic or Virgin? Sorry,
yeah, Virgin.
He was, I mean, this was like pre-COVID, where it came out in all the trades that he was going to be a investor in that.
Mhm.
And then they actually started doing like promo, like collaborations with him, or he was doing videos when he was riding the
I
train,
remember those.
and they were going to do some different branding.
Mm-hmm.
And then something happened with COVID, and
They backed out.
Yeah, that went away, and I went back to being Brightline.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think they might have focused more on Virgin Mobile during that time.
I think that everyone's always talking about infrastructure and how South Florida, Florida in general, doesn't have great public transportation or infrastructure. So I think this is great in that they're going in that direction. And I thought it was interesting for the article where they talk about how much money that the city is putting in. They're giving the land, and then they're putting in extra 30 million, seems like approximately, for the construction.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there's already plans for development around the stop, or is there room for a transmodal development there, like as in Miami, and I believe in Palm Beach they're supposed to do it as well, have development.
Here in the article, it's saying that surrounding that station that they're going to build in Boca, there's a 5.3 million square feet of offices in the surrounding eastern downtown area, of which 1.8 million square feet is Class A, according to none other than Collier's market report. So that's what we're seeing around the area. Currently Class A offices, with more projects coming in on the line for our downtown area. It's going to be a great attractor for all of our residents for Misner Park, the Museum of Arts, Cultural Arts Center. So many people want to be part of our thriving town.
Well, cheers to Brightline. But I think a culture change is who's buying condos with cryptocurrency. Second biggest crypto condo sale in Miami closes for $7 million. It follows a 7.2 million crypto sale at 1,000 Museum last summer. So they're actually purchasing real estate with cryptocurrencies. As a longtime crypto investor paid $7 million for a unit in downtown Miami, making the second highest priced cryptocurrency condo sale in the city of Miami. City of Miami record for cryptocurrency condo deals was set last summer with the 7.2 million sale of a unit at nearby Zaha. I don't know how that makes sense, because it says a long time crypto and paid 7 million, and it's saying that that's a record sale, right? And unit in downtown the second highest. Okay, that makes sense. I thought they were saying there was a new high. I'm like, huh? How does that? But anyways, so that was the second highest at 7 million. First high was at 7.2 million. Design 1,000, according to last year, the penthouse at Artane's Surfside sold for 22.5 million in digital tokens. Doesn't say cryptocurrency, setting a nationwide record for the largest known cryptocurrency real estate purchase. So I guess that's not a condo. That's a penthouse. 22.5 million. That's a little confusing, right? Don't you think?
Condos and penthouses?
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, what are they
Well, I think
talking
a penthouse is...
No, it's the same thing.
Isn't it bigger, though?
It's square footage, but it's a condo. So it's saying like the highest condo deal was 7.2 million. But then again, there was another deal for 22.5 million in digital tokens, setting the nationwide record for largest known cryptocurrency real estate purchase. Okay. Cryptocurrency market has been subject to major swings. It boomed at the beginning of the pandemic, but has fallen dramatically in recent months and days. The buyer of the Marquise Miami condo unit paid in Ethereum that was converted to USDC, a digital stable coin that is linked to the US dollar, according to the buyer's broker, Jack Oppenheim of Oppenheim Realty. He has represented the buyer along with Madison Roberts of the same brokerage. So he bought an Ethereum, which is backed by the dollar. But it did say that this was the one it's kind of a 6-bedroom, 7-bath condo. That's what he bought with Ethereum for 3.6 million. It was previously sold in 2018. Okay, it didn't say how much he paid, did it?
It's 7 million.
No, but this is, you understand? Like, it's a little
like how many
right?
Ethereum coins you're talking?
No. It says, as I digress. Second highest cryptocurrency sale, $7 million. First highest, $7.2 million last summer. Then it says the highest digital token sale was 22.5 million. And it says cryptocurrency has taken its swings. The buyer of the marquee Miami condo, unless that was this one, did it say private? No. Anyhow, let's move on. The condo sold within a day.
Wow. That was fast.
Yeah, the Oppenheimer, the buyer's broker, was also involved in the July sale of the 1000 museum. So I guess this broker is dealing with the crypto. I guess he's the cryptocurrency dealer, where the buyer also paid in cryptocurrency. Brazilian TV star Roberto, I don't want to say people's names, who bought it, blah, blah, blah. Miami, this guy is the advocate, man. This guy is bringing it. Miami Mayor Francis Suarez, who has been working to lure tech firms and major investors to the city, is a big proponent of cryptocurrency. The city launched its own Miami coin. I didn't know that. And Suarez has said his mayor salary of $97,000 is instantly converted into Bitcoin. So he's accepting his salary into Bitcoin. Sellers are also becoming more willing to do crypto deals. In the second half of 2021, sellers of 428 properties in the Tri-County area considered accepting payment in crypto. That's up 240% compared with sellers of just 126 properties in the same period of previous year. So this is where
It's
gonna
be the new future.
Yeah, man, this is like exciting. As you read it, it's a little confusing, but the highest sale 7.2, second highest 7 million, and then said 22 million for the big penthouse, and people are trading in cryptocurrency, Ethereum's backed by the dollar. Cool, man. I South Florida by the numbers, mainstreaming, meet the 20-something, fueling the crypto millions into real estate, how to close a real estate deal using Bitcoin. So it's all there. Check it out on Real Deal. I think it's cool. I like it.
I think it's definitely going to be the future.
It's here, man. It's not the future.
You know what I mean. Like it's going to be more mainstream is what I'm talking about.
It is mainstream.
I don't think it's 100% mainstream. I think it's still kind of niche a little bit.
You can go buy cryptocurrency. You can go buy Bitcoin. You can go buy Ethereum. You can go buy Solana. You can go buy all these coins. That's mainstream, bro. If you're saying can I walk into Whole Foods and buy something with it right now? No, because transaction time.
But that's what I'm talking about.
Slow.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You got to say that. You can't just say mainstream.
Well, what I mean by that is
someone just paid
in the pub, people
$7 million to buy a condo.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is I think we're gonna get very close into the point where you can just go right here downstairs to Pasión de Cielo and buy a cup of coffee in crypto.
This is all what people don't understand is that it matters because this is on the blockchain, and to make transactions faster, it kind of goes against what the blockchain is about. That's why Bitcoin takes longer. Ethereum is taking faster. They're doing it in a different way where it's all about being decentralized, but as it becomes faster, it's like less people are checking the ledger. That's how I've come to understand it. And the blocks on the chain are smaller, and that's how the transactions come faster. And I mean, they're building that's what computer science tech guys are doing right now. I mean, that's the gold mine rush is to how can we get these tools on top of these platforms to enable us to transact. Right. I mean, that's why you see the heavy amount of cryptocurrency really being placed in gaming, because in gaming I'm not a gamer, but my son could speak to this. And if you're inside the game, you need to buy something inside the game, right? Called skins or whatever.
Yeah, those are microtransactions. Right?
So those are transactions that you have to use a coin, a cryptocurrency,
a premium currency. That's what they call it.
And the kid doesn't want to sit there and wait while the transaction happens. So it's actually happening in gaming right now.
Yeah,
being tested there before it's coming out. It's a real world situation.
It's funny that you mentioned that because
Elon Musk had said that you could buy a Tesla. I don't know if he digressed on that or there's other things. I mean,
and it's not only gaming either, because there's so for example, I use for my mouse and keyboard at my personal home, my personal computer, I use Razer products, right? They're a brand primarily centered around gaming in a sense. And they have what they call silver, which is if you just play the game and as long as you have the application running in the background, you passively gain silver. But it will cost, you need like, for example, 300,000 silver to get like a $60 mouse. Or you can have 4,000 premium currency to get that same mouse, if you know what I'm talking about. So it's exactly what we talk about, where they have those 3 different methods to get the same product. One of which is just like you're playing the game and then it's worth less. That premium currency where you pay and then you have that digital version of it, or you pay 60 real dollars. Well, physical dollars. And another version is in Ubisoft. They announced that they're going to be having NFTs in their games, specifically in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. That's where we're going to be adding it. Is you need to get like 127 hours, I believe, something like that, of playing the game with a certain amount. I could be wrong. I think it might be more. And then you will get this like digital NFT that has real world value attached to it. So it's exactly what you're saying. They're already being introduced into the gaming market, and not to be mentioned that they've already been introduced before, because something that a lot of people like to forget about is Counter-Strike, where Counter-Strike had this process way back. You have skins where people would have full bank accounts in their Steam libraries tied to their skins that they had in Counter-Strike. Like, I'm talking about over $1 million.
So there's transaction. I mean, there's programmers that are trying to build tools to where you can take that. Let's say you have gained that on that, whatever the cryptocurrency you have acquired on that game. They're trying to make it where you can take it to another game.
Yeah.
So those are the things that are going on, dude. Those are mainstream things.
No,
don't say mainstream. What do you mean?
Well, like what I was talking about more is like that, because you were saying they're being introduced into gaming. They kind of already were there.
That's not what I said.
No, well,
I said they're being
tested.
It's transaction times. Yeah, that's where it's going. That's where it's going down.
Yeah,
that's where it started.
I would say something to really check out is Steam Marketplace before they stopped selling, before they stopped allowing the skins to be sold there. Really gambled away more than anything.
Stop tapping the thing.
Oh, sorry. Because I think it's a really good a really good experiment, and I would like to see people learn from that situation and what happened there and what caused Steam.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about with skins and the currency that they were having.
Why do we need to go see this?
Because it's pretty much exactly what's happening with NFTs already happened with that. So NFTs, right, are these digital
non-fungible tokens,
right? And the thing is, with Counter-Strike, when you had skins, you can have a skin. For example, if you were having a minimal wear op Asmonov, that could be worth 100,000.
Talking about
it's a gun skin in the game that's worth 100,000 real dollars. People pay $100,000 to get that skin in the game back in 2012. And with that, then there's a situation going down with the NFT. Well, what was effectively an NFT, right? With that skin, where they were gambling it, and then it caused the platform to shut down everything, to shut it all down, where people were losing. There was this one report of this dude that has $700,000 tied to his Steam account that got wiped the second that Steam stopped allowing those transactions. So that's what I'm saying, to take a look at that, learn the lessons there, and don't repeat.
What do you mean?
Hopefully.
We're not in that space, so you can't say like, I mean, I'm sure that there's some, computer science professor somewhere using that as like a case study.
Hopefully.
For sure. Sure. If it happened in 2012, the financial crisis happened then.
Well,
they talk about that in real estate school? Yes,
I think it all stopped in 2018. I think that's when they canceled everything, and they stopped allowing those transactions because there was these like 2 YouTubers. It is a whole thing. Yeah, but
they're still allowing transactions happening in games. There's NFT is super hot right now. So I mean, it's still moving forward. We got the metaverse out there.
Yeah,
what have you. What else, man? You got any more articles? Or
yeah. So final article here is actually a 2-for-1. So buy one get one. This is coming over from South Florida Business Journal, talking about Trump files plans for condo towers over in Doral Resort. So former President Trump, he is with his company in the Doral Golf Resort that they have in 4400 Northwest 80th 7th Avenue, filed for a land use amendment with the city January 14th, seeking to change the use of 54 acres on the southeast corner of the property to downtown mixed use. The proposal would permit 2,222 residential units of equating 462,825 square feet of offices and 81,675 square feet of retail to be added. The number of hotel rooms will be reduced by about 200 to total about 450. The preliminary site plans show 4 towers. The height would be 42 stories, pending approval from the Federal Aviation Administration, given that the property is not far from Miami International Airport, said Miami-based attorney Felix Lazaric, who represents Trump in the application. Architect Peter Kiladijan, I'm sorry if I butchered that, of Doral-based Pascal Perez Starts Associates, said the 4 new buildings will be built on mostly vacant space and parking lots around the existing hotel and spa. However, 2 smaller hotel buildings would likely be removed to make way for one of the buildings. New parking garages would make up for the loss of the surface parking spaces, and patrons of Trump National Doral Miami already use the valet parking much of the time, so it won't be much of a change for them anyways. The signature elements of the project would be intersection of Northwest 36th Street and Doral Boulevard and Northwest 87th Avenue. The commercial space, landmark signage, and public plaza, these are the 2 of the busiest streets in Doral, but right now there's nothing at the intersection. So looks like they're filing it right now, and they're just waiting for the approval to come in. I think having in this brand new space, I remember that we talked about a few episodes back that there was these huge, just vast like golf areas that they weren't doing
one of them.
No, I know. But remember,
this is like Class A golf course.
Yeah, but I remember I was talking about that. There's a lot of land
Throughout Florida, yes.
Throughout Florida that was used as golf courses, and that they, they're remaking them, in order to have this area. And this is, I believe, Ralph was also there in that podcast. So this is exactly what we're seeing. They're getting. Well, I mean, they're getting parts of the land, and then they're building up new structures.
That's not part of the old golf course.
It's a 54.
It's adding on to the golf course.
No, seeking to change the use of 54 acres on the southeast corner of the property.
Right, but they're not touching the golf course. That's the Doral golf course. That's a major golf course. If you Google it, that's like Trump's favorite thing.
Yeah, I think they have
the Trump,
the Blue Monster, right? Something like that.
Yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah, they're not taking land from the golf course. Not at all. That's the driver of that place. That's why he's adding that. That's submarket. People slip on Doral. People don't even know where Doral is, what Doral is. Doral's it's like a great little submarket. There's a lot of it. It's west. It's kind of like Weston and Broward, but Doral is like just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and newer and newer and newer. And people love it. It's like little Venezuela over there.
Yeah.
But
it's really nice. When I used to come down from Hialeah to go home from work, I would pass by. I would cut through Doral sometimes. And I would see a lot of development, like a lot of new multifamilies being built, or like Lennar will come in and just start building up. Doral City Place is also really, really very popular. If you never hanged out there,
I've been there. That's where the Comedy Store is.
Oh, yeah. Also, the sushi store, the sushi restaurant there, very good. Highly recommended to go during sushi hour. They call it Fuji or something like that. Really, really good food. But that whole area is just kind of like a hidden gem, like more than anything. The people that know go there. You know what I mean? It's not very touristic. A lot of locals go there. You got the blues bar that's over there, the King's Bowl. I really, really, really enjoy that area.
Yeah, Doral's great. So, talking about multifamily and development and stuff, here's another new group that's being formed and launching a multifamily brand called Mila Residences. Will focus on luxury residences in prime locations. They got a new one going up in Pompano Beach that breaks ground in February. $78.2 billion construction financing announced this week, and it's slated for completion in 2023. These guys says this is the project in Pompano. 2 buildings, 355 unit studios, 3-bedroom layout. Well, that will include a studio studios, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom layouts ranging approximately 550 square feet to 1,400 square feet. Amenities include a 2-story clubhouse, co-working spaces, TV lounge, dog spa, fitness center, resort style pools, outdoor kitchens, pedestrian bridge between buildings. Those are all the amenities that are coming in now at Class A properties across Florida. The firm intends to expand the Mela, is that how you say it? The Mela brand to other locations in South Florida and beyond. We have identified properties that are conveniently located that meet the lifestyle needs of the discerning residents, the partner said. These guys met when they went to school in University of Florida. They moved to Atlanta. They teamed up to start their real estate venture, which acquires and redevelops and manages office, multifamily, and retail properties across the Southeast. Between 2011 and 2013, they bought and repositioned thousands of multifamily units in Nashville and Tampa. Their portfolio includes 21 buildings, 46 acres in Orlando Office Park, 5 buildings in Atlanta, Georgia, spans across Hillsborough to Deerfield Beach, Florida. But now they're saying ground up multifamily development is the next logical step for them. And they begin to reimagine underutilized properties and land in our current portfolio. We're excited to bring high quality living to cities like Pompano Beach. So, and that are attracting new businesses on the daily basis. The project is, Pompano Beach Community Redevelopment Agency contributed to the project, which includes 53 units of workforce housing. Due to the lack of signature projects of this size in the immediate area, the spin-off impacts due to the spendings of the residents will create an economic boost to the surrounding businesses, generate new developments, increase demand for more commercial space, and provide additional employment opportunities. So it's cool stuff, man. I like people that pivot, and I mean that's it. That's a hard task to go. We buy real estate or we reposition real estate, and then we build real estate because it's super high risk. But man, the market is just on fire. So if these guys are dialed in, it seems like, and they're doing their new project in Pompano. Pompano is another area that it's an older area. My grandmother actually used to live in Pompano Beach, and it's another. It's not your typical Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Palm Beach. So you got these outskirt areas like Pompano Beach or like Deerfield Beach or Hollywood, or those are older areas that are being repositioned, and then you got new places like Doral in Miami that developers and investors are looking at to make their stakes in those places. It's pretty cool, man. If you don't have the funds to go onto the major cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Palm Beach, you can find great opportunity in these other towns on the outskirts. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got too.
January 26th, 2022. We're out of here. So today's Wednesday, so tomorrow's Thursday. We'll be here tomorrow.
Talking about see what the 10-year is tomorrow, as well as talking about those prime rates that's going to be talking about on 2:00.
Sounds good, man. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye, everybody.